Welcome to this Computers 8 video lesson, and in this lesson here I'm just going to introduce you to Sculptris. Sculptris is a free program that you can download at home, and the best way to describe it is sort of using digital clay to create organic shapes through a variety of tools, and those tools are up here, and the nice thing is each one has a little tooltip that comes up as you sort of put your mouse over top of it. And those are basically your tools up in here, these 9 tools. Then there's a few other little things that will help you out, and you'll get to know those as you work through. And then your basic sort of saving and opening files are here. All right, so let's just take a few, just take a simple tool here. And so we've got our draw tool, and you can see here you can increase or decrease the size of your brush, and also increase or decrease the strength of that brush. All right, so let's just take a reasonably sized one. And especially at the start, when you're trying to get the basic shape, you'll want to use a larger brush, and you can basically pull things. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just sort of pulling things out, and I'm pulling it down. And let me just keep working at this here. I probably want to increase my strength just so I can pull it a bit more to get this basic shape. And what I'm trying to do, as you can see, just sort of flattening things. And it's working reasonably well. Okay, and you can just see that I'm pulling things out. So I don't really have anything too much that I'm trying to create here. Maybe some sort of, I start to see some sort of face here. I'm going to decrease that brush size and maybe pull this up, maybe creating the eyebrow across here. Okay, now I can always reduce it, sort of go the other way with this invert here. And so I'm just going to increase that to create the eye sockets again. Maybe a little bit too much. Just pulling it in. And now you can see it's pushing it in. So I'm sort of creating the eye perhaps underneath the eyebrow. Okay, again, not that great here. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what can go on. And then maybe create that nose. There's this inflate, and notice there's the invert there, so I'll just turn that off. And if I multiply, again, I'm going to increase that strength. And you can see the nose is sort of building out, and it's inflating or raising that. Now, one other thing you'll notice is that we've got symmetry turned on, so that the left and the right side are being produced sort of identically there. So as I pull out this nose, okay, and of course any nose needs nostrils, so again I could use that invert tool and again reduce that size, and there, perfect. Who wouldn't like those nostrils? All right, and then we'll just produce a mouth here, and I'll just show you a little bit about the lips and what you could do. So again, perhaps the draw tool, making sure the invert is off, okay, and then just sort of pulling maybe the lips and down, and then maybe in the middle there too to pull that out. Okay, so very quickly I've got sort of a face. Okay, nothing too great. And there's a bunch of other tools. If I use that flatten one, I could flatten the lips. And most of the moving is I'm using the middle mouse button to, you can see it's flattening out there, to sort of zoom in and out, and also to rotate. So as I hold down the middle mouse button, it will rotate the model. All right. Now, once you're finished with it, my big piece of advice here is to save it. Okay, so we can just hit save here, save it wherever you need to. I suggest on your drive, on your H drive. I'm just going to save this to my desktop for myself here. So I'm just going to call it face, save it, and then what becomes a sort of a separate thing is setting the paint. And so once you're all happy with the basic shape, you can hit paint. And so it will say OK to mapping. Now, if you've got a really complicated model, depending on the computer, we'll see how they work. You might want to reduce the resolution. I'm going to go OK here. My computer's pretty strong. It will build it, and then it sends it to this paint. And again, very much as before, you've got your tools up here, and then you've got some colors. So again, you can click on that and choose your colors, and there's a variety. This basically the brightness, sort of the whiteness, and the I guess really it's almost the opacity of it here. We can choose different color, okay, and then start painting. And again, it will maintain its symmetry. So if you wanted to paint whatever color. You can go ahead and do that, and then of course just changing the colors. And feel free, whoops, there we go, give them some nice rosy cheeks, and so on. Okay, and again, you can change the size of the brush, the strength, the hardness. Again, the hardness, just like in Photoshop, whether it feathers the edges, and you can actually find textures if you wish. There's none here at the moment. There are different brushes you can bring in so it can paint a bit differently. Again, there's all these options that are available to you, and you just sort of have to go around and play with them. But that's the basic idea with Sculptris. Again, just an organic model. You just have to get used to it. And then, once you're happy with your model, then you can go to Paint, and then you can save it. And I believe if you save it, you can call this one Face Painted or whatever, and then you could still go back to your original one if you wanted to make any modifications. All right, so that's just sort of a quick and easy podcast here, video cast about using Sculptris, and I hope that you've learned a few things and you can try it out on your own now. Great. Good luck.